Friday night, and I feel alright. The party's here on the west.
Welcome back to another episode of Fitstop. Today I'm going to be covering a high protein and low carb meal option. So if you're anything like me, I tend to have a lot of the carbs I eat before I train. So that doesn't leave me with much in the evening because I try and keep my macronutrient split at 40-40-20 with 40 carbs, 40 protein and 20 fat. So if I've had a lot of that before I've trained, in the evenings I have to have a pretty high protein meal and low carb. So this is going to show you exactly what I eat a lot of the time in the evenings because I train in the evenings, so I'll come back late and this is the meal I'll prepare before I go to bed. So it's always great to get a post-workout meal in there to assist with recovery. So I'm going to delve into all these ingredients, and this time I'm actually going to put the nutritional benefits on the screen instead, just to try and keep these videos a little bit shorter. So let's get right to it. The first ingredient I'm going to take are mushrooms, and these are very high in vitamins and minerals, but they're also quite a good filler as well. So quite a cheap ingredient and lots of nutritional benefit in there as well. So I'm just going to start by slicing these up one by one. Just making these nice and thin because it is quite difficult to get these soft in the pan if you cut them too thick. So I'm just going to cut these nice and thin. Don't try this at home. I would advise chopping onto a cutting board, but I'm experienced with this, so do as I say, not as I do. So mushrooms aren't actually a vegetable and they're not a fruit obviously, but they are a fungi. That's the group that they belong to. So again, just increasing the variance in your diet of different sources of vitamins and minerals is really going to enhance your diet overall. So we're just going to transfer all these back into the bowl, and then we're going to have all these on the side when we've got the pan ready nice and hot so we can cook it all together. That's mushrooms taken care of, so we're just going to pop these on the side, and next we're going to move on to bell peppers. So these are very high in antioxidants, and this is kind of the consistency that we want. Is just nice, finely sliced into nice little strips. If you want to cut them into very fine pieces, then you can do, but I prefer a little bit of crunch when I'm eating the foods as well. So it's just a bit of a better texture. So take the pepper, and what you're going to do is you're going to slice around the top, and then we're going to pull this bit out because that's where all the seeds are. They kind of hang under there. So if you make a nice incision around the top and pull this out, then that's going to save so much mess afterwards. So you slice the top like this, and then just pull this out. So you can see we've got like 90% of the seeds are there. So I'm just going to put that on one side. And then with these bits, just to save the seeds dropping off, if you grab these bits and kind of like peel them out, then again it saves a lot of the process of pulling all the seeds out afterwards. So pull those out. So there are a few seeds in there, so if you just batten the pepper a few times just to get those out, because there's not really any benefit to eating those. Put it into nice slices, as so. So I'm just rotating the pepper. You can cut this in half as well, just like this, and then chop it in different ways. Just find whichever way works best for you whilst chopping and preparing meals. Hey, look at this, we've got a healthy McDonald's. That's peppers taken care of, so we've just got a little mixture of yellow peppers and red peppers. You can throw some green in there as well. These peppers aren't actually spicy at all, so bell peppers are the one pepper on the Scoville scale, which is the scale which tells you how spicy something is. So these don't even register as spicy at all, so there's no thermogenic benefit, but if you were to use a chili pepper or something, whenever you eat spicy foods, that increases your metabolism by about 40%. So I'm actually going to include some spice in this from the Frank's buffalo wing sauce. That'll be the spice element of this meal. So as we did with the mushrooms, just going to transfer these into the bowl. Next on the list is tomatoes. So these are plum tomatoes. I just like these because they're really nice and sweet. You can have cherry tomatoes or regular tomatoes as well. Whichever your preference is, then you can have that. If you're using cherry tomatoes, then a little secret that you can do is if you get a small plate and put the cherry tomatoes on there and put another plate on top, if you have a long knife, you can actually slice between the two plates and that'll cut like 10-15 cherry tomatoes at once. So, little tip for you. That's all the tomatoes chopped up. We're going to do the same for the broccoli and the asparagus, and then we're going to pop all these into the pan on the hob. The first step is to take something just to pop in the pan, so when you're cooking the vegetables they're not just going to stick there. You can use an oil, but I'm going to opt for a low-fat vegetable spread. So I'm just going to get the hob started now. You're going to put it on about a medium heat because you don't want to put it too hot, because when you cook foods at a very, very hot temperature, that kills some of the natural enzymes in there, and we want to preserve that as much as possible. I'm just going to put in just enough to kind of cover the base of the pan. So I'm just going to move this around. The vegetable spread that I've used is a light version as well, so there's very few calories in there. Once that's pretty much melted, I'm going to add the first of the ingredients, which is going to be the bell peppers. I'm putting these in first because they're probably the hardest and toughest, so they're going to take the longest time to soften. So I'm just going to drop those straight in the pan. I'm going to move these around. Moving on to mushrooms, just going to drop these in the pan as well. So you can see already there's a lot of volume here. So by having a low carb meal in the evening, I don't want to be hungry or anything like that during the night. So these ingredients are quite bulky, which will satisfy your appetite even though you're not having a high carb meal as well. So just keep all these stirring around just until they get nice and soft. If any of the ingredients start sticking to the bottom, like the mushrooms or anything like that, just add a little bit more of the oil or vegetable spread into the pan. So these are quite nice and soft now, so I'm going to add in the asparagus and the broccoli straight into the mix. These are all quite nice and soft now, so I'm going to drop in the tomatoes, and the spinach will go right at the very end. It'll just kind of wilt a little bit on top. So I'm going to drop those into the mix. What I'm going to add next into the mix, these vegetables are all cooking away and they're all quite nice and soft now, so just going to leave those on a medium heat. But even me personally, I don't like the taste of some vegetables on their own, so like raw broccoli or something like that, they don't taste that great. So I'm actually going to add some red hot buffalo sauce into this mix, and it's a great way to add flavour. You can use herbs and spices as well. That's another great way to add some flavour into this and kind of take away from like the very bitter flavour of maybe like asparagus raw or broccoli. So this actually has 30 calories in it per 100 ml, which is a third of the bottle. We're not going to use anywhere near that because it'd be way too spicy. So the veg is taken care of. Now I'm going to show you how to cook the salmon. I'm going to show you a little trick on how to get rid of the skin. I don't eat it myself, there's not that much health benefit to it, so I just prefer to eat it without. The first thing you're going to do is take some oil. So I'm just going to use this virgin coconut oil and just get a light covering on the pan. Next, what you want to do is just take the salmon and then place it on the base of the pan and just keep moving this around for maybe 15 or 20 seconds. What we're going to do now is just add the lime pepper whilst this is sizzling on the bottom. And now what you want to do is just quickly turn these salmon fillets over and those 15-20 seconds will actually soften the skin on the bottom, which will allow you to just peel it straight off. So you see it comes off really easily, and that just saves you taking it off while you're eating or anything like that. If it doesn't come off very easy, just put it on the heat for a little bit longer. So now I've peeled the skin off of the bottom. I'm going to season this side as well. And we're just going to keep moving them around in the pan, just to make sure that they don't burn. Try and keep these cooking on a medium to high heat, just enough to sear the salmon. But you don't want to put it on full heat because it's going to burn on one side, especially if you've seasoned it already. If you can manage it, just put the fillets on their sides and try and cook them for a bit either side. And this will just help to sear all sides of the salmon, just to keep some of those healthy polymonounsaturated fats in there. So that's salmon taken care of. It's a little bit pink just in the middle, and that's the way that I prefer it. If you do want to cook it throughout, then that's personal preference, it's completely up to you. So I'm just going to plate the vegetables first. So as you can see, there is a lot of volume here, so people might be concerned that they're not going to be very filled up after a meal because there's not been any carbohydrates in there. You can easily add some carb sources into this if you cook some sweet potato, if you have some rice or pasta cooked as well, then that's absolutely fine. I'm going to take the salmon and just place this on top. So this is cooked like so tenderly, it's almost falling apart, and that's one of the benefits. Like you can see here, it's literally just breaking apart. So that's one of the benefits of not cooking it too much. It's not too dry. The salmon's very nice and soft. And these oils, I like to put them on because we've not used any oils apart from a little spray of the coconut oil. So the oils that are coming out of the fish into the pan are the healthy poly and monounsaturated fats and the omega-3s. So I like to actually take them from the pan and put them back on the fish, just because some of them escape while they're cooking. And final touch is just a little bit more of the lime pepper. So I'm just going to crumble that, just more so on the vegetables because I've already got some on the salmon. And that's it. High protein, low carb meal. Perfect for days where you've had a lot of carbs during the day. If you've had a cheat meal at lunch, then this is the perfect meal that you can have in the evening while staying on top of your macronutrient split. As I mentioned, for me, it's a 40% protein, 40% carb, and 20% fat. And if I've had a lot of the fats and carbs during the day, as I prefer to have before my workout, then this is the perfect meal for me in the evening. As always, I'm going to prove to you that it's edible. So I'm just going to dig in right now. Get some of the salmon. That tastes so good. The salmon is cooked perfectly. It's nice and soft, not dry at all throughout. Got the veg as well, which are going to have a nice spicy kick to them from the buffalo sauce. The tomatoes and the peppers are very sweet, which counteracts with the bitterness of the broccoli, and asparagus can be quite sweet as well. So together they all work really, really well. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Try it out for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel alright. The party's here.